5 years ago, we met an 8-year-old boy named Rex, who seemed to embody in one small person some of the most intriguing mysteries of the human mind. How it is that stunning ability and profound disability can coexist in the same person. Rex was born blind with brain damage so severe, his mother Kathleen was told he may never walk, talk, or do much of anything. And yet he has talent beyond anything most of us can imagine. We were so captivated by Rex that we decided to follow him, to keep coming back to see what the years would bring. The last time we visited Rex and his mom, he was 10. Today, he's 13 and as joyful as ever. But before you meet Rex today, meet Rex as we first did.
Hi, Leslie.
Hi, Rex. How are you?
I'm fine, and hi, Leslie.
Hi.
Rex Lewis Clack then, as now, was a study in contrast.
Can we shake hands?
Yes.
Blind and full of enthusiasm,
It's good to see you, Leslie.
yet unable to dress himself or even carry on a basic conversation.
Leslie,
Yes.
I did a wonderful job standing on the carpet.
But with everything Rex couldn't do, he could do this. We played him a song he had never heard, with his old piano teacher singing along.
To San Jose.
Remember, he can't see the keys. Rex is a musical savant, one of a handful of people in the world who share a mysterious combination of blindness, mental disability, and musical genius.
Good job.
Amazing.
But away from the piano, well, look. He was easily upset, confused by basic concepts,
What shape do you think that is?
A circle.
and unable to find his way around the apartment he'd lived in his whole life.
Let's find the toy box.
Music seemed to be Rex's only real connection to the world, to normalcy, and the question was how far it could take him. Well, here he is 5 years later at 13, playing Debussy for audiences around the country. He's grown more than a foot since we saw him last, and his technique on the piano has improved dramatically. But the answer to how far Rex has come is more complex, like the savant mystery itself.
Look who's there. Oh my God.
Rex greeted me with the same warmth and enthusiasm as ever.
Can I give you a big hug?
Oh my God.
But he seemed to forget that I already knew his mother.
How long are we going to hug? This is your mom, Kathleen. I know your mom.
Seen her in a few years.
How are you?
Good.
Okay, are you ready to learn your new song?
Yes.
Rex still has the magical ability to hear a piece of music one time and retain it. And he's taking that into a whole new realm, singing. We watched as Rex's voice teacher, Angela Rasmussen, sang him a song he'd never heard before, Schubert's Ave Maria, in Latin. We thought the song was upsetting Rex, since he plugged his ears and started making noises.
What do you think?
I think that's great.
We were wrong.
So he now is singing in Latin.
That's Rex. It's so automatic almost. It's like breathing for him.
Sarah Banta, Rex's piano teacher, is pushing him to improvise and transform music into different styles, like asking Rex to play the song Blue Moon, which he had just heard for the first time,
Here you go, Rex.
in the style of Mozart.
The more he improvises, he gets into new and wilder things, which is fun for him, and it's creative.
Do you do that with other students?
Not as much.
Not as much.
They don't do it as well.
Rex was born blind with a giant cyst in his brain. He developed severe autistic symptoms. Small noises would make him scream, and he kept his hands balled up in fists.
That became his the way he would be.
So he wouldn't have to touch anything.
You'd have to peel his fingers open.
But then, an unexpected breakthrough. A keyboard Rex's father brought him for his 2nd birthday.
He pulled his hands back up at first. And I thought, ooh, now what am I gonna, I'm gonna have to trick him into putting them back. And all of a sudden, he overcame his own sensitivity because he was so intrigued.
Rex was hooked. The keyboard was all he wanted to do, even when his body couldn't do it anymore. And as his skill at the piano grew, so came other skills. Rex learned to walk
Becky, what?
and talk, even run.
Look at you pulling me.
All things he was never expected to do. 2 years later, Rex was spelling,
D-R-U-M.
skiing, and today exchanging emails with a Swedish pen pal.
E-N-N-A.
But there are still barriers music hasn't helped transcend. Those hands that fly across the keyboard still can't button a button or guide his foot into a shoe.
It's hard.
Even Velcro straps are challenging.
You gotta smash it all the way down. Smash, smash, smash.
But Rex is full of positive surprises, too, like defying the conventional wisdom that savants can only parrot back what they hear.
Repeat it again.
Every Saturday, Rex spends 4 hours with David Pinto, who has started an Academy of Music for the Blind and is helping Rex turn his improvisations
Now do a B part.
into original pieces of music.
He's composed about a dozen wonderful little piano pieces that are perfect for intermediate students. I had him play them into the computer so he could print it out, and
Oh, look at this.
we got a little book here.
These are Rex's compositions.
Right, and they're delightful.
Do you think he's truly creative?
Yes,
Truly creative.
yes.
Well, that's wonderful.
Rex is beginning to be a little composer.
See, that's the way to do it. You accent the main note, which is the 2nd note.
The big challenge for Rex as a musician, David believes, is a bit of a paradox. The savant gift that gives him such prodigious talent also robs him of some of what makes music so powerful to the rest of us, real emotion.
Again, to convey emotion in a piece, you need loudness and softness and crescendos and decrescendos. It's amazing to me that he doesn't naturally take to those things.
Staccatissimo.
Is it that he doesn't hear them?
No, he's hearing them, but they're not important to him. These are emotional things. This is conveying meaning on an emotional, human level. Those things are not significant to him as much.
A 1, 2, 3, 4.
It's a problem shared by many of David's students, and why he feels it's so important to bring them together and foster human connections through their music. A perfect example is 14-year-old Rachel Flowers, who we first met 3 years ago when she and Rex worked on movement together with David. Back then, Rachel had just begun teaching herself to play the flute. Today, she's composing elaborate pieces of music for jazz ensembles, recording every track herself.
You're doing it all at once.
Yeah.
And you're even talking to me at the same time.
Yeah.
Would you call Rachel talented?
No. I would call her super talented.
Rachel is much higher functioning than Rex, but still, David says, she has similar problems connecting her music with stories or feelings.
I asked her, tell me some possible lyrics. She had no idea.
She couldn't come up with any lyrics.
Any lyrics whatsoever. Okay, so I said, let's give a story about something that made you angry. She couldn't.
Oh.
I said, okay, play me something sad. She couldn't. And that astounded me to see how deep these kids go. But if you just move 10 degrees to the left, how shallow. They're fonts of wisdom and you're amazed, but move a little bit left, they don't have anything to say.
Is it possible that you can teach Rex and the other children to imitate emotion?
Yes, and I think, like all things, there's a hope that imitation will lead to understanding.
Rachel, would you like to hear what I just composed?
Yeah.
So when David has Rachel play Rex's new composition, he's trying to use the extraordinary musical bond they share to build something that does not come naturally, a simple friendship.
It's still very hard for him to be friends, to have that deep connection.
Stand up. Okay. Say goodbye.
Goodbye, Rex.
Goodbye, Rachel.
Goodbye.
Rachel, thanks for everything.
You're welcome. It was a lot of fun. You enjoyed it.
Thanks.
You're welcome. 1, 2, 3, hey.
Kathleen hopes that music can help create a place for her son in the mainstream world, and it's already happening. Rex leaves his special ed classroom every day for the school choir and band. And while he still can't fully relate to the other kids, with Rex you never know when there's going to be a breakthrough, as Kathleen learned from David Pinto about something she'd given up on because of Rex's continuing aversion to touching things.
I saw this twinkle between David and his wife, and what's going on? They said, well, we were going to keep it as a surprise for you, but Rex is reading Braille. I said, first, I didn't believe it. I said, I'd like to see that now.
She didn't believe you.
No. We had to show him reading the letters and the words.
Prove it to her.
And at that point, you know, to see the tears in her eyes, well, she was deeply moved.
This was huge.
Yeah, it was.
And you are...
Can you read a book?
Sure. He finished his first book this summer.
Close quotation mark.
Frog and Toad are friends. Good. So what's your whole sentence?
One day in summer, Frog was not feeling well.
Beautiful, Rex. That's great.
They said, he may never walk, he walked. He may never talk, he talked. He'll never read, he's reading.
I always think that part of his laugh and little twinkle is like, oh, I know more than she does. It's like he's got his own timing. And I think that that's a good lesson. Never to say that he's not going to do it. It's just when he's ready, when his brain is ready.
Come join me.
In all the years I've known Rex, I never thought he'd be able to sit at the piano with me and play an improvised duet, much less enjoy it.
Every now and then he would, while he was playing, get very excited and make a noise and go, yes! And he'd have a look of joy and fun.
I mean, that's what's wonderful. His joy, his laughter. He loves music. It's so big in him.
I think that the possibilities are endless. The more I'm with him, the more I realize that there's much more to discover than I've even gotten close to finding.
That was wonderful, Leslie.
For me, nothing more fun.
I'll give you a big hug goodbye.
You're a wonderful boy. Thanks.
Goodbye.
For years, Kathleen has thought about writing a book about her son, and she's finally done it. It's called Rex, and it's out this week.